Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing really well out there, wherever you are watching from today. If this is your first time here, then please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, as it really helps us out on the channel. Okay, so in today's video, I am going to be taking a look at an old school horror video nasty called Cannibal Holocaust. Now, I have never seen this movie, not until today. I've heard all about it, I've heard all of the stories about it being banned, and all of that jazz, which I will get onto in just a little bit, but today was the first time I actually sat down and watched this movie from start to finish, and guess what? This movie shocked me in terms of how graphic the movie is. Bearing in mind, this was released in 1980 and I'm watching it in 2023, so I can only imagine what the reaction was back in the 80s. This video will contain spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen Cannibal Holocaust, and I will be discussing some disturbing and upsetting things that happen in Cannibal Holocaust, so just a little bit of a warning there, guys. So before I delve into the nitty-gritty of this movie, what is Cannibal Holocaust about? Cannibal Holocaust is a highly controversial and disturbing film, recognised for its graphic violence and animal cruelty, and it is not recommended for sensitive viewers. The movie depicts a group of documentary filmmakers who head to the Amazon rainforest to film a tribe of cannibals, but the filmmakers end up massacring and torturing the indigenous people. The movie's graphic content is meant to critique the exploitation of people and wildlife in media, but it has been banned in many countries due to its controversial and violent nature. So when the movie begins, these filmmakers have already gone missing, and this guy called Professor Harold Monroe, he goes into the rainforest with the help of some hunters to try and find these missing filmmakers in the hopes that they are still alive and that they can still get hold of any footage that they have been filming. As you've all probably guessed, of course, the filmmakers are no longer with us. Now, what's interesting is for the first 35 to 40 minutes of the movie, it follows Harold Monroe trying to find the filmmakers. It's only after this stage of the movie where Harold manages to recover the videotapes from these tree people that we then see the true horrors of what went on, and it pretty much just turns into a found footage film. But during the first half of this movie, when we follow Harold and these hunters, we still witness some horrific scenes. There is a scene where we watch a woman being dragged across the lake by this guy, and this guy, oh god, he ends up shoving some sort of large sex toy object into the woman really violently, before getting a ball of mud, like a mold of a ball of mud. He then sticks some shapes into the ball and then he starts ramming that inside the woman. It's absolutely horrific, and it just gets even worse from there. There is a lot of nakedness in this movie, and I mean full penis and full vagina, full nakedness. I had no idea that the filmmakers who have gone missing, I didn't realise that, they were actually going into the rainforest to torture, kill, and even rape the indigenous people. That was a complete shock to me. I thought that the filmmakers, they end up getting caught by, the cannibals, and then we end up watching them all get eaten alive one by one. A little bit like Eli Roth's Green Inferno, but no. These filmmakers are actually vile humans. There is a scene where these filmmakers surround the indigenous people in their villages, and they put them into this hut and they set fire to the hut with all of these people inside. There's also a horrible rape scene where the three guys in this group of filmmakers, they take in turns to rape this woman in the mud, and it's just not easy to sit there and watch. Eventually, the filmmakers find these tree people who are the most dangerous, and even the indigenous people fear the tree people. And this is when the filmmakers get their just desserts, I suppose, in spectacular fashion. One of the filmmakers, Jack, he ends up getting caught by the tree people, who then proceeds to pretty much rip Jack apart. They even cut off his penis, and you witness the whole thing. There aren't any cutaways when they're chopping off that penis. There is literally nothing left of Jack by the end of it. The scenes where his skin and body is just being ripped apart, it looked very realistic, and it's not for the faint-hearted. It's not long before the rest of the filmmakers are caught and they all end up receiving the same fates. The fact that these filmmakers knew that they were going to die, but they were making this documentary and it made so much to them, they just kept on filming and they didn't care. However, do I feel sorry to what happened to these filmmakers? Absolutely not. Now, this movie features a lot of violence against animals, and you see a lot of animals get tortured and killed in the movie, and it's all real. I think the worst one has to be the death of the massive turtle. This is not an easy scene to watch because we don't only just watch the filmmakers kill this turtle, we watch them rip this turtle apart and pretty much disembowel it, and this scene goes on for quite some time. I looked away, or I looked at my phone for the most part of this scene because it was just too much for me. There is also another horrific scene that I am not going to go into details as it's just too disturbing, too graphic and too sensitive to so many people, but all I will say is pregnant woman screaming and fetus. That is all I'm gonna say on that one because it was just so horrific. For me personally, this movie lets itself down with all of the animal killings. If they were to erase all of that and then, you wouldn't see the animal killings, then I'll probably be able to go back and rewatch this movie. And, I do already know, guys, I know there is already a DVD release where the animal killings have been cut out. At least that's what I've been told. So, at least that's something. Before I talk about the movie being banned, I just want to talk about how the director of this movie was arrested for murder due to how real this movie was depicted. Specifically, there is a scene of an impaled woman which caused concern that this actress was actually killed for the movie. It turned out that all of the actors and actresses signed a contract that they would not appear in any media on TV or movies or commercials, and basically to keep a low profile for 1 year. This was done to make people think that Cannibal Holocaust was indeed real found footage, and boy did it backfire. In the end, the director had to prove that the actors and actresses were indeed alive, and finally all charges were dropped. It's crazy to think that people actually thought that they were watching a snuff movie, but to be fair, when I watched that scene with that impaled woman, I was also wondering how on earth did they pull that one off without physically killing her. It turns out that it was a bicycle seat that was attached to the end of an iron pole, upon which the actress sat on. She then held a short length of balsa wood in her mouth, and she then just looked up towards the sky, giving the appearance of impalement, which is just very clever. After its release, Cannibal Holocaust was banned in a lot of countries around the world, including the United Kingdom, Australia, New Zealand, the United States, Norway, Finland, Iceland, Singapore, and many more countries. Now, some countries have lifted the ban with a new warning that shows at the start of the movie, about what you're about to see, and they've also, removed and cut out the scenes of the animal killings. However, the uncut versions are available online if you search hard enough, because I was able to watch the uncut version just this morning. My overall thoughts on this movie, it's really conflicting. In a weird way, I see this film as a really big masterpiece, clever horror film. It's shot in a nitty and gritty sort of way to keep the realism. The movie itself is actually structured really well, with the first half of the movie, you know, involving the guy searching for the missing filmmakers, to then the second half of the movie showing us what's on the tapes. But on the other hand, it is one of the most messed up movies I've seen in a very, very long time. Would I watch this movie again? I don't know. Probably. It all depends. Maybe if I buy the DVD version that has cut out all of the animal killings, then I probably would. I would definitely rewatch this movie with any friends that haven't seen it before, just to see their reactions for the first time. But I will be honest, it's not a movie I'm gonna go back and rewatch very often. I am happy that I've seen it now and I can no longer unsee what I saw, but in its own right, Cannibal Holocaust deserves its place in the horror universe. So guys, let's hear some of your thoughts on this infamous movie. Have you seen Cannibal Holocaust? What are your thoughts on it? Is it just too much for you? Are you too scared to go and watch it? Did you make it to the end of the movie? Let me know everything in the comments box below, and if you know of any other horror nasties that have been banned in the past or are still banned and you would like to see me review them on this channel, then let me know your recommendations in the comments box below. Right then guys, thank you all for watching today's video. Make sure you smash that subscribe button, stay safe out there, and I will see you all again very, very soon.